Hi, I'm John Waterhouse, and this is Weekday Wisdom. So my question for you today is there value in being challenged? Now, people can interpret that in a lot of different ways, and most of us would say, no, I don't want problems. I don't want difficulties. I don't want to have to struggle in my life. And I see that in people who ask for prayer, for spiritual mind treatment. They come and tell me that they've got some challenge in their life and they want me to pray it away. But frankly, challenge is a part of life that we all need to face, and it's something that is demonstrated in nature all the time. There's an old story about a man who found the cocoon of an emperor moth. He took it home to watch the moth emerge from the cocoon. And the day came when the moth began to work its way out of its container. And the man watched this for several hours and realized that the cocoon had stopped at some point, and it seemed that he was stuck and couldn't get through. So out of the kindness of his heart, he went and got a pair of scissors and he snipped the cocoon away so that the moth could come out. And the little creature did come out, but the way it came out was not the way he expected. The body of the moth was swollen and enlarged, and its wings were small and shriveled. And what he discovered through this process, and even attempting to be helpful, was that he denied the moth its process of going through that struggle, that challenge of emerging from the cocoon, which was what it would take for his body to be able to fully function as the moth he was designed to be. Now, this is an old story, and many of you probably heard it. I actually had a similar story in my life. When Barbara and I first moved to the mountains of Western North Carolina, we rented a little farmhouse. It had a barn next to it, and Barbara chose very quickly to get some chickens. Well, we didn't get chickens, actually. What we did was we got some eggs in a little hatching box that had a light bulb in it that kept it hot enough, and we had instructions on how to turn the eggs every so often to keep them active and to do what a mother hen would do had those eggs been in a nest. And then the day came when the eggs started to hatch, and a number of them, the chicks just pecked their way right out and worked their way out of the egg with no problem. And there was one, after all the other chicks had gotten out of their eggs, there was one where the chick was definitely working at it, but it wasn't having great success. It seemed to be stuck. So I, being so kind-hearted, went and pulled at the edges of the egg and broke it away so that the chick could emerge. And what emerged was a chick that had not gone through its process. And its feet, its claws were actually not fully spread, so that as it began to walk as a chick and then as a chicken, its feet were curled up, and it would walk on the wrong side of its feet and hobble along, and couldn't keep up really with the other chicks, and as they grew the chickens. And every time I saw that chicken, I knew that I had done that by trying to help it through its process, that I had denied it its ability to develop properly and to do what it needed to do. And then one day that chicken was gone. And what I'm sure happened is that it could not get away from a predator as quickly as the other chickens could. So without falling into a deep sense of guilt, I learned a great lesson from that process of being challenged in life is a natural part of what we all go through. Barbara was saying to me the other day, in her recovery, and she is working so diligently, doing her exercises and working with her therapists and following instructions and doing everything that she knows how to do to get better. And she said to me the other day, I didn't know it was going to be this hard, which just made my heart sink in my chest, because I don't want it to be hard for her. But the process that she has chosen in her life, not consciously, not to be disabled or somehow diminished, but the process that she is engaged in is her process. and she's going through it. And 99%, probably more than that, of the time, she does it with her head held high and her intention clear. And I envy her and I admire her and I lift her up for what I see her doing. We all face challenges. We're facing one right now in the midst of a viral pandemic. And in these challenges, we find our strength and we find our ability to move through life in a way that where we are strong and we are clear and we are confident about who we are. So I invite you to just sit with a sad story, a couple of sad stories here, but listen to how important it is and to understand with me how important it is for us to go through the challenges of our lives and do what is ours to do so that we can learn and grow and be the spiritual beings that we have come to planet Earth to be. I hope this is somehow helpful to you, and I shall know with you that you have a fantastic day and a wonderful Independence Day this weekend. God bless you all.